Hello everyone and welcome to part 3 of this WEBFLOW Masterclass series, the course with Ransigal. And in today's video we are going to be making wireframes in Figma. That is correct. We have finally got through the planning phase, getting all the assets that we need, getting all the colors, fonts, all that stuff. And now we're ready to get into Figma. So here we are. I got that bad boy opened up. Figma's a wonderful program. It's absolutely free. If you want to upgrade to more team stuff, you can do that. But basically, Figma is like if Illustrator and the cloud had a baby. So you think of Figma, that's what you think about. But anyways, it's a wonderful program. It's still got a lot of tools to go to make it even better, but they're updating constantly, so I trust them a lot. So today we are going to be building the look of the website. We're basically going to be building this, just the look of it though, because then we'll code it in WEBFLOW. So let's just get started. Okay, so structurally looking again at this entire, we have our notes here from last time. It says we have 5 sections. So literally what we're going to do is just going to make 5 sections. So we're going to go up to the top left corner here. We got the frame tool, and on the right hand side you have a lot of different options. I go to desktop and I'll just go desktop version. So it gives you the dimensions there already, 1440 by 1024. So obviously when you go and code it on WEBFLOW and make it responsive, it'll be able to scale nicely with the actual website. But for now, we're just going to do this. So what I'm going to do, so that's the frame. So we can label this website, I guess one page website. And I'll just go coffee. So I'm just going to actually change the height. I'll go 5,000. What that's going to do is it's basically you're just taking what it's going to look like, and you just, so because there's that much of height, I just make that what it actually becomes in the prototype. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but basically the height of the website, the entire website, when you scroll all the way down, is what you want to try and replicate. So now that we made the frame, we're going to go and make a rectangle. So when I click on that, it makes a rectangle. Width, we're going to go 1440 because that's the width of the frame. And then height, because it's section by section, we can go 1024. So maybe what we actually want to do is make the frame, what's 1020? I wonder if it does that. 1024 times 5. Okay, so it's not that smart yet, but okay, so pardon my quick calculations. 512. So what I'm doing now is I'm just making 5 frames, or 5 rectangles, sorry. And they might not necessarily have to be the exact same size, because as you can see here in section 2, this would be a lot bigger than section 3, and section 4 is smaller than section 3 and 2, and then section 5 is the exact same size as section 1. So that being said, we can pull this down. There we go. So what I'm doing is I'm just duplicating the rectangles. I'll make this one a lot bigger. I'll make this one smaller. And I'll make this one even smaller than that one. Okay. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just making a section. So if you're really geeky, nerdy like me, and you like to label all your sections, you can go ahead and just rename them all so you have all your proper labeling. And of course, I named each section a different thing. So section 1 is hero section. Hero contain. So I even forgot that we put a little pixel length pixel on the actual hero container. Again, that's more for just the Webflow part, but it's definitely good to have. Section 2 origin contain. So this is purely for organizational purposes. You don't have to be as crazy as I am, but in the long run, it definitely helps when organizing your layer files, your file naming conventions. The more you do it now, the easier of a practice it becomes, and then the easier it is to find stuff because you followed everything every step of the way. Section 4, featured roasters. And then this last boy, section 5, footer. Okay, not fodder. Footer. All right, so they're all named there properly. Now, so what we want to do now is kind of just differentiate every section. So what I like to do is I just like to take away the opacity a bit, so I know which section I'm working on visually, because again, as a no code person, this all helps to visually strategize what it is you want to do. I just noticed 50% looks almost exactly like the background of the Figma artboard, so I'm just changing that. Okay, so now what I'm literally going to do is I'm just going to go back and forth between what this looks like and what mine looks like, and then we're going to just build it. So section 1, I want to bring in one of my images that I got, so I named it hero cover. So I'm just going to plop it in there, and image resize, so quite the big boy. So we're just going to resize it proportionally, and to do proportionate sizing, you're going to want to hold Command Shift, which is on the, Alt Shift, which is on the Mac. Well, I mean, I guess you do the same thing Windows. Alt Shift on Windows and Mac. So it's nice and intuitive. That so what it does is you scale it proportionally, so you don't. If again, this is general graphic design practices, but if you're scaling unproportionately, I don't know why it's not doing it now, but okay, come back to me. So I guess what I was doing is, what was I doing? Okay, so I guess it's automatically scaling proportionately, which is good. That's what we want. Oh, I think is this locked? Yeah, okay, so Constrain Proportions turned on in Figma, so that's good. They do it. If it was unlocked and I tried scaling it and I go Alt, oh, I guess, okay. So I guess it's more Photoshop and Illustrator. Basically, if you scale unproportionately, then you're going to get a pixelated image that's not the proper quality, which is not what you want. Okay, so we have the image there. And now let's go back to our notes, because we said what we want to write on there. So from seed to sip is the title. So I'm just going to pull out a text box, give it white. Okay, that's cool. I want all the way white. It's always in a good habit to remember or start memorizing what is it called? Hex codes for colors, so they're easier to get to. Plugins. So I got a plugin called Better Font Picker, and I'm activating right now. So what happens is I can actually see, because right now Figma, you can't preview what it would look like, what the font would look like if you choose it. So here, Better Font Picker, it's a good plugin. So I will leave a link below for that, if there is one. But basically, you just go into plugins in Figma, and then you search Better Font Picker, and it'll show up. Anyways, I kind of liked Acumen Pro Condensed. What I'll do now is let's go 72 font size, and we're gonna go more options here. Let's move this over here. All right, let's go up all uppercase, and let's go bold. It's looking crispy. I'm not too fond of the typeface or font. Might change that 100. So see how it's already coming together, looking identical to what this is. So you have, I mean, again, you have your subject here, you have the negative space over here, and then that's where you could put your text in. So I might even oh, why is it doing that? No, I don't want you to do that. Okay. Hero cover. Okay, so I'm just cropping. I guess now what I'm doing is I'm scaling but cropping in, so I can get a bit more of that negative space. You see how different it looks from before? I have more negative space on the left side, so I can put my writing it, and it even has a natural blur because of the focus on the cup. So this will stand out, the text will stand out even more, which is what you want, because you want your typography to be the most legible, and to be the most, I guess, not eye-catching, but what's the word? You want it to be the most relevant in your website, because you want them to read what you do. You want them to know from the get-go, from the instant, what you do. And that's just basic web design principles. You only have about 15 seconds to make an impression on a person or on a viewer on a website. So you want them to know in 15 seconds what you do, how you do it, and how you can help them. So, and those are all tips I got from Rand's latest video on how to create a good hero section. So check him out in the Flux Academy. Anyways, continuing on, I want to find a better typeface because I'm not too sold on that one. Scrolling is rough around here. Why is it lagging? Okay, I think the plugin... Oh, I think Figma's frozen. Okay. Let's see if we're back. All right, let's try that again. Okay, let's go plugins. Better font picker. There we go. Okay. Bebas is a classic. It's a good tried and true font when you want a condensed. Oh, Bureau Grotesque. Ooh. Bureau Grotesque condensed looks nice. That's so sometimes the whole fun of designing a website from a designer standpoint is picking what works best, because coffee's like smooth. You know, you can take some tips out of being contextual to what you're designing. So coffee's smooth. You know, you have the waves of the steam and the heat coming up, and then you have the the rounded cup, and you have the beans, and so it's like a warm, smooth feeling. So out of that, you can try and base your choices of other things that'll affect your choices of colors. You got the warm browns, you got the moody browns, you got the creamy whites. Those are all reminiscent of coffee. So because that's the theme of the website, those are all design choices you're going to want to make as you keep going. Now, din condense is another good safe, but it's too thin for me. I want a thicker. So Bureau Grotesque is a good option. Founders Grotesque condensed. Let's see if they do bold. That's a nice one too. It's not bad. He does all caps too, yeah. Do I have Dharma? I don't have Dharma. Gilroy. That's kind of nice too. I guess I don't need to go condensed. Gordita. Black. That's nice too. Always to make sure that your text box fits the size, and also how to where to break, because there's 4 words. It's nice that it breaks 2 and 2, because if you're doing this, I mean that works too because it all looks like a square, but it's nicer because you're reading from seed to sip, so that creates a difference in text, and it creates that natural delineation between the two. Graphic is just good. It's a beautiful font. Love that. I know WEBFLOW uses this in their, or actually I think it's Figma that uses this as well in their branding. I'd be down to use this too. Oh, super bold. It's a little bit too serify for me. Well, this is not bad either. So this is very wide. This is opposite of condense. It's very wide, but it also still gets the job done, kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, I can go on forever trying to find a font for this. I guess that's where you find the fun and the joy in creating. Hopefully, as a designer, you find that. If not, then find another profession. That sounds mean to say, but you don't get stuck doing something you don't love to do. I guess is the point of all this. Yeah, there's a lot of good options. Basically, what I'm saying. I'm not trying to flex on my font library here. I gotta clean it up for sure, but let's just land the plane. Red wing. So there's only 2. Roboto Mono is another font that WEBFLOW and Figma, or I think it's WEBFLOW uses, which is nice. It's nice. Sorry guys, I'm trying to land the plane here. Space Grotesque is there bold. Let's just do that. Let's just land on Space Grotesque. It's a nice font. It'll do the job. So, Front Seat Sip by Ryan Segal, Photos Unsplash. So now I'm just gonna duplicate, drag that text box. So how I do that is I Control and I Alt Shift, and you can just do Alt or Option, sorry. But because I want to keep it in the same horizontal level as the title, I shift, so I lock the movement up and down. So I'm gonna go back to my notes, and I'm gonna say credits by Alex Pressa, photo by Unsplash. So credits Alex Pressa, and then photo Unsplash. So we're gonna bring this really down. We'll go 30, so that works nicely. And how did he have it? So it's italicized and like thinner, and his other font is just bolded. So okay, so does this have italicized? No, it does not. Let's go regular. And also we're gonna turn off the all caps on this. So that looks nicer. And then we'll go regular. Okay. So there basically is your hero section. I have to add in, so just for the purposes of labeling, I'm just going to add in here that scroll animation thing. So it's got a black stroke to it, so I'm just going to add a 3-point black stroke, and then I'll take off the fill. Actually, let's do white instead so it shows. And then let's round the corners to make it all corners plus. Nice. Awesome. So that's, and then we can take it a step further and just label it. Nope. Oh yeah, that's right. I had the okay, also I totally forgot that this is all underneath the background image is underneath the opacitized, if you want to say, or the background that's been lowered in opacity. So when I take it out, it's even more contrasty, which even gives it a nicer look. But anyways, those are all things you could do in post after if you want to add like a colorizer or something. That's all stuff you can do after. Okay, so I don't even think I need to add a I was gonna add a label just to say that this is a scroll wheel, but I'm making it look like enough of a scroll wheel per se, or the scroll animation per se. So just for efficiency's sake, there's that. Okay.